Welcome back, P.H.M back with another video. Today we're about to be doing a class with another group, so this will be our second Affirmation and Mindset talk over here at the Community Correction office in Montgomery County. Today we're also going to be utilizing our journal that we have put together, and again, this journal link will be at the end of the video in the comments in the description. So you guys definitely check this out, where we have different affirmation and mindset tools and techniques, things in here. There's writing prompts for 30 days. Calendar and everything else in this book. And again, just got a lot of tools in it. Click the link and check it out. Why do y'all think having a good mindset and just being confident will be important? And any of y'all can answer. Feel free. I'm gonna ask y'all some questions. I'm not gonna lie.
You'll try new things when you're confident.
You said what?
Try new things when you're confident.
Try new things. You get to explore. You get to, stretch your mind a little bit. You get to express your experience or stretch your experiences and stuff like that when you're confident. Why else y'all think it might be important to have a strong mindset and be confident?
It'll take you further in life.
Take you further in life. It also gets you through some things too. Anybody else? One more, and then we move on. Why having a strong mindset and being confident is important?
Yeah, it'll help you get through the hard times.
Most definitely. Most definitely. And as we know, life is nothing but trials and trials, back to back to back to back. There is peace, and if you can have the right perspective, seeing the glass half full, half empty type thing, you always can see the positive outlook on them when you're going through them challenges and things like that. So again, a positive mindset and confidence, they're both important, not only for your professional life, but your personal life and your relationships and stuff like that. They enable and activate to allow you to navigate through difficult challenges, like he said, increase productivity, improve problem-solving skills, build strong relationships, maintain good health, help you advance in your career. It just overall give you a better lifestyle, if you will, right? And so again, today I just want you guys to understand the power of affirmations and the power of having a strong mindset, and also how to create affirmation. Anybody know what affirmations is? We all know what that is? Or is that something I'm gonna end up explaining it anyways? But essentially it's gonna be a tool to help you develop that positive mindset, right? I also understand the power of our lips and the power of our words and stuff like that. So me personally, I stick away from making secular music, right? And like she said, P.H.M is just something that kind of saved me in a sense, just building and always looking for it and just reaching towards and striving to be a better person myself. Now I will give y'all my testimony here soon, but today we're gonna end up using this to speak more life into your lives, okay? Anybody can give me the definition of a positive mindset? Define it. It's a mental attitude that focuses on the bright side of life and expects positive outcome. Again, that perspective that you have on life and different trials and things that you're going through, right? A practice that focuses on the good in any situation, being grateful, focusing on your blessings, okay? Benefits of having a positive mindset are problem solving, again, ability to adapt to new situations and perform like overall just well. And I said a word 3 times just explaining what a positive mindset is. Did y'all catch that? It's focus. I said focus 3 times. So focus has a huge part in playing in your lives, and like the decisions you make, the people you're around, the things that you allow yourself to get into, and allow just things to come in your energy or your circle and things like that, right? And so we live in a world full of distractions. One of the biggest distractions, again, in my opinion, is that thing right there, the clock, time, right? Everybody feel like we running out of time, we don't have time, but it's so important, and I want to be adamant on just being focused on the things that you want in life and focus on the positive things in life, because it's too easy to get distracted by people, noises, sounds, and just voices outside that has nothing pertaining with you and your gift and your passions, okay? Can somebody give me an example of a time where they was going through a challenge, and instead of kind of just letting that challenge overcome them, they had a positive mindset in the situation? It could not necessarily just be a challenge you was going through, but something your family member or a friend or something like that, but you was the one being positive. Somebody give me an example.
Being in jail.
Being in jail. Being in jail. Around a lot of people that is in there it's just a negative pull being in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so being able to be positive, would you say you had a positive mindset while you was there?
Yeah.
What were some of the things you was kind of telling yourself?
They couldn't keep me there forever. I mean, it was going to end sooner or later.
Right.
I'll be able to make it out.
And where you at now? Sitting here with us, right? That's awesome, bro. I appreciate you sharing that. Who here thinks they have a positive mindset? I can say I do sometimes too, but again, this is a life journey that we're living. We got every day wake up and start fresh. Every time the sun goes down, get back up. It's a challenge. Like every day you challenge to like focus on having a positive mindset, right? It's something you gotta work on day in, day out. There's not just gonna be a point to where you always gonna have a positive mindset. Unexpected thoughts can come anytime, right? Unexpected things can happen, and it can not define you, but it definitely can make you feel some type of way where you start making bad decisions. Whatever seed you kind of plant is gonna happen to sow. So if it's just a little thought, it's gonna end up growing up to be something a lot bigger that we're dealing with, right? For an example, like a lot of us as kids, like we had to deal with a lot of things that we didn't expect to happen. We definitely didn't have control over. Rather, whatever the family situation was, we were just kids, right? And there's a lot of trauma that each of us go through and still go through to this day. But as you're getting older, you was kids, you don't really remember it. But just that little seed of that trauma and stuff when you was younger, nobody told you that that's why you think the way you think, or that's why you think some things are okay, or that's why you allow people to treat you a certain way, right? And so it's, again, just being mindful of just them little seeds that we're planting and focusing on our thoughts, because it starts small and they end up becoming our reality, okay? So before we can even build a positive mindset, we gotta be able to identify our negative thoughts, okay? We gotta be able to identify when they come in, when we're angry, when we feel upset, when we feel misused, when we feel, just not good enough, or we just don't feel like we are worthy and stuff like that. So we gotta be able to identify negative thought patterns, okay? And so I'm gonna share a few of these with you guys, and I'll be real brief with these, and I'll give you some examples with them as well. But the first one that we have is more like, and I would like for y'all to tell me if any of these relate to y'all as well too as we're going through, okay? Matter of fact, you got your papers. I would like for y'all to, I'll give the number. If something resonate with you, just write down the number and then the name of the thought pattern, okay? And the first one we have is all or nothing thinking, or black and white thinking, right? So have any of y'all been to a restaurant, you have a bad experience there, let's say Cheddar's. I go to Cheddar's, had a bad experience, bad food, service was bad, they didn't serve us right, the food tasted terrible, and then just because I had one bad experience at the one here in Clarksville, now I think all the Cheddars across the globe is terrible. That's kind of what a black and white and all or nothing thinking is. This is when you think something is either super awesome or totally just terrible, completely bad, with nothing in between, okay? You don't see the middle of things. You're either really happy or you're really mad, right? You're either really sad or you're really glad. You really hate something or hate somebody, or you really love them. There's no in between. Like they make one mistake, you just want to, it's done. Like, you feel like they're a bad person. I treat you wrong. You just completely think I'm a bad person from one mistake, right? But then again, on the other end, we'd be quick to ask why people can't forgive us, right? The second one I have is, y'all bear with me on this word, catastrophizing. I think that's how you say it. Imagining the worst, okay? This is something where you imagine the worst in things, right? My mom, for instance, every time I leave the house when I was younger, she always thought something was bad gonna happen. Y'all probably could relate if you have kids, if you've been a kid or whatever, but they just always worrying and they are just nagging in a sense. But they do that because they always imagine the worst. And that type of mindset, negative thought, is catastrophizing. You just always think the worst in things, right? Even, let's say you get caught up and you have to go to court and stuff like that, thinking it's always bad, like you're just gonna have the worst outcome. Like I had to go to, with my friend last week to court because he had a court date coming up. The whole day, the whole morning, he was just so negative. He was like, I'm going to jail, it's over with, this, that, and the third. Like, there was no positive in it, right? But the whole time, me and a good friend, a good mentor of mine, we was really just trying to speak some life into him and doing a lot of praying, right? I'm very spiritual, but doing a lot of praying for him and things of that nature, and we were just trying to speak a life to him. And to be honest, the type of charge it was, if you will, and him already being on probation, he had a VOP, right? He should have went to jail that day. But I kid you not, we walk into the courtroom, and not only him, but there was like at least 20 other people in there, and they all went before him. There was only 3 people left when it came to him. He was just letting people go left and right. He was dropping fines, he was dropping fees, he was just dropping different things, but we was trying to explain to my friend that this is the power of positive mindset, and for us, we was really just showing how God really works. Just gotta give it to him. Let go and let God, if you will, you feel me? So that's catastrophizing, imagining the worst. The next one I have is personalizing, blaming yourself. So even if something goes wrong, or let's say for me, I used to be like this heavy, like our family struggled a little bit growing up, okay? Maybe a little bit more than others. It all happens, we struggle. But for me, again, I'm 16, 15, I have no position to really control everything, right? I'm over here thinking stuff my fault. So like I beat myself up. I feel like I had to go through things on my own. So I leave the house early and do things like that, right? And so I just put all that weight on my shoulders, and it's not our shoulders the weight need to be on, if you will. And so again, personalizing is just blaming yourself. And I'm almost done, guys. I got a few more of these.
Take your time.
This is really the longer portion. It can get kind of drawn out more. But anybody can relate to that one, where they just blame themselves for a lot of things? Most definitely.
I know, like for me, I don't really like blame myself or anything like that, but it wasn't until I realized, it come to a point in my life where I realized that no matter what happened to me, whether it was good, fame, fortune, or bad things, it was because the choice that I made put myself in that position.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, if I got a promotion at work or whatever, I made that choice. If I got arrested for not doing dumb stuff, I made that choice to be where I was at, you know.
100%.
Instead of just blaming other people for this stuff,
You took
it's
accountability.
really my choice to be in those positions to where it landed, yeah, there were some unfortunate events along the way.
Right.
But for the most part, the decisions that I made, I couldn't blame really nobody else for my,
For your
the position that I was in,
100%, 100%, and I completely agree with that. And there's a thin line, because yes, we gotta take accountability for our actions, right? But at the same time, we do have support. You know what I'm saying? We do have loved ones, and we might not always feel like we do, because it's so easy to feel so alone. You know what I'm saying? But like, there is people willing if we just reach out, And so when it comes to that, it's like, okay, I'm taking accountable for my own actions. But I don't have to try to fight and keep doing what I've been doing to try to help myself, you know what I'm saying? And there's things and tools and resources, and for me, the biggest tool I ever had, relying on God. Like, it's not cliche to say, like, it might sound cliche, but like, really, prayer for me works. Like, it really does. And again, I'm about to give you guys my testimony and stuff like that. But it got me through and got me standing here in front of y'all today. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. So, personalizing, when something goes wrong, you might think it's all your fault. Even if it's not, you feel like everything is about you and your actions, which again is a thin line. Yes, take accountable for your actions and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we come into this world beginning to go against challenges and stuff like that. So we do got to give ourselves some credit for even getting through some of the things we got through, and not being a statistic somewhere, rather it's dead or still locked up,
And
Like,
that's my issue, like I take the blame for all the bad, but no credit for the good that I do.
right. And so it can be hard, but like, it's okay, like, to give yourself credit for that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody else is making you get out of bed. Nobody else made you come here this morning. Like, you did that. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you for coming, like, for real. And that's for all y'all, because like, it can get dark quick, you know what I'm saying? And we have to give ourselves, speak life into our life, if you will, you know what I'm saying? Because it's so easy to take the blame for all that, and then when we are in a position where we have to face consequences, they put labels on us. They judge us from our past, I just went and tried to apply to a job. I've been on probation for about a year now. I just tried to apply at a youth center. Had a great interview. Dude loved me. He was gonna let me work with the youth and stuff, with the music and stuff like that. Couldn't hire me because the city says my past, right? They just try to put these labels on you, and they try to make you figure it out all by yourself and make you feel like you the only problem. yes, you could have done something to kind of better yourself, for sure, but like, you only know what you know what I'm saying? And so until you have somebody kind of reaching out, or you see like somebody like us, like ourselves, you know what I'm saying, we always just think we by ourselves again. So I appreciate you sharing that too. So moving on to the next one is overgeneralizing, thinking it always happens, okay? So this happens when you think that just because something happened once, it's gonna happen all the time. You use one bad moment to predict the future. So yeah, I know, again, a friend that just because he had went to jail one time, right, or a couple times, a few times, he just think that's his lifestyle. Because his dad was a certain way and was aggressive, physical, abusive on both the family and drugs and stuff like that, he think that's what his life's supposed to be. That's the environment he grew up. He thought he can't get outside this environment. It's like a little circle. He just stuck here. He haven't seen anything outside until somebody comes and be like, hey, have you seen outside this environment? There's more to life than what you're seeing. But because of something that they've been seeing in that environment they've been in, and something that happened to them once, they think that's how their life gotta be. They think they're gonna have to continue struggling to find a way up. They think they're gonna have to continue doing a certain thing to get attention. They think they're gonna have to do something just to get approval and things like that, or they're okay with going back to jail and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They just think their patterns is their life. They let their patterns define them, if you will. But we're the ones that get to write new patterns and write our own story, if you will.
I have a question. So how is it different from the all or nothing? Because like, I'll try something, but like overgeneralizing, I'll try something and I won't want to try it again if I fail. But say like with your thing with Cheddar's, that would be different for me. Like, I would go back to Cheddar's even if I had a bad experience.
Maybe you had a bad experience?
Yeah, but if it comes to me personally trying something and being put on the spot, then I won't try it.
So you say how is the generalizing is different from the black and white?
Mm-hmm.
So the black and white, just in that example alone, I would say in that scenario, because these are all gonna be happening in different situations. But for that one alone, you won't have a black and white thinking because, okay, I'll try it again. But now with your life experience that you're talking about, something happens and you fail, you don't want to do it again. You just think it's completely bad or didn't work out, right?
Yeah.
So in that scenario, that's more of a black and white thinking. You're not open to give it more another chance.
Okay.
The overgeneralizing is kind of more like thinking it always happens. So like, let's say it can relate. Is a thin line. I see what you're saying. It does relate, but with your life, you think it always happens. So if you mess up, like you said, and you don't want to do it again, the reason that you don't want to do it again is because you failed, or you think it's just going to be the same outcome every time. Same outcome every time.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so that would be overgeneralizing, if that makes sense. And so another example of, that I have on here for overgeneralizing is you had a bad experience giving and this was example for a class that I did, so it's more tailored to them. But it said you had a bad experience giving a presentation once, and you start believing that you will always be terrible at public speaking. One bad moment don't define your abilities forever. So I hope that kind of helps you a little bit more. Okay. Number 5. This one kind of obvious, but mind reading. Assuming what others think, right? So this was a big one for me. You know, just when I was younger too, and still to this day, I've kind of been struggling with it. But it's just assuming what other people are thinking about you, and this for me come from like insecurity, fears, and things of that nature.
What was the term? What was it?
Mind reading.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Assuming what others think, and so you might guess what others are thinking even when you really don't know. You imagine they're thinking something bad about you, and it only make you feel worried. So it's like, again, for me, it was insecurities and fears and stuff of that nature. And then let's say I walk into a room, and then it's instantly like, okay, I think they judging, or they doing this, they doing that. But really, y'all ain't said one thing, you know? Y'all kind of
That's
look
what
at
makes
me.
me think that though, because everybody gets silent when I
Right, I feel it on backs. But we start making our thoughts on our own, for sure. And so, number 6 is, and then we got 2 more. So number 6 is should statements. setting strict rules, so setting like really high expectations for yourself. You set strict rules for yourself about how things should be or must be. When you can't meet those rules, you feel like you did something wrong. And so there's nothing wrong with setting high goals, and really, because I set really high goals for myself, I'm not gonna lie. I set high expectations for myself, but at the same time, yeah, I know it should be like that. I know I will fail sometimes. I know if I do fall short, that means I'm closer than I was when I started, right? Some people, they set such high standards for themselves, and when they can't hold themselves to it, like, okay, I got out this time, I'm not going back around them people, I'm not gonna continue doing what I did or using what I'm using, I'm not gonna continue hurting people in whatever ways you might wanna put. But then you catch yourself slipping and you backslide and you do it again, right? We fall back into that bad habit. And when you do that bad habit, you just start beating yourself up even more, in a sense. And then you finally end up saying, F it, right? And then we back where we started, right? And that's kind of, again, should statements. And for me, it was like, I knew I had some people I had to stop, not necessarily being around, but doing the things we was doing around them, right? I'm not gonna ever tell y'all cut anybody off or drop anybody, but you do need to know when you don't belong somewhere anymore, right? Especially when you're trying to better yourself. And so for me, I kept doing the things I didn't want to do, but I noticed I started doing it around these certain type of people. And for me, it was like, okay, I'm beating myself up, and then I just eventually just gave in. I'm like, it's whatever. I'll keep doing it. I'll keep messing up. I don't got, you know what I'm saying? I don't got any control, if you will. That's how I felt. An example that I had on this one, you think you should always get everything right, and if you make a mistake, you feel like you failed. It's like having super strict rules for yourself that are impossible to follow all the time. And keyword, all the time. It's not impossible to follow, but all the time. You gotta realize you're gonna bump your knee a few times. It takes a lot. I still mess up to this day, but I'm a lot farther than I was 2 years, a year ago. You feel me? And then number 7, the last one that we have for the negative thought patterns is labeling. So calling yourself or others names. Sometimes you might use unkind names for yourself and others when something goes wrong. This can make you feel worse about yourself or those around you. So I feel like we all can relate to this in some form or fashion, but have any of y'all been called a name? Like somebody try to put a label on y'all? What are some of the labels that y'all put on you? I know each of y'all can give me at least one. You go first, Rob. Your mother, wife, children, kids, friends, judge.
I think numerous things. I can't pinpoint which one. I don't know. I never got somebody think about it in there, but because I was on that one time, so that's how I made that.
Made it?
Yeah.
Okay, appreciate your honesty too, though.
Yeah.
Oh.
Go with you, Justin.
Drunk.
A drunk. And y'all don't mind my handwriting or spelling? We get the point, okay.
Criminal.
Criminal. A-N, how we, criminal?
Sorry, A-L, you good.
Okay.
2 M's.
Yeah.
2 M's. Okay, that don't look right for y'all.
It's one.
You're fine.
Oh, 1 M, appreciate you.
Yeah.
M-I-N-A-L.
Okay, that makes sense, there we go.
There's an I between the M and
But, all right, we got it. Every time this happens, I promise. You should have seen the interns I was doing. I was doing the same class with a group of interns with disability. They was begging my handwriting. I'm not gonna lie. They made me feel this big, and they talking about labeling people. But one for you, junkie. Definitely been there too. I mean,
it's kind of inappropriate though.
no, you good. You're fine.
Go for it.
Okay. And not like many of us, we are mostly men in here, so we can't relate to that. You know what I'm saying? But I imagine that is not something pleasant to be called, right? Regardless of what the situation is. You feel me? And so I'm gonna leave that right there for a second. So negative thoughts are like little rain clouds, right, in our head. They're not so happy ideas. They make you feel sad, worried, upset, mad, angry, infuriated, lost, alone, depressed. Negative thoughts can be about yourself, like thinking you're not good enough or that you can't do something. They can be also about the things happening around you, like believing something is going to go really bad or really wrong. But sometimes the negative thoughts, they pop up in our head, right? They pop up in your mind and all on their own, and you don't want them there, right? So again, like the little raindrops, they just kind of just trickling. And some days it's storming, they just coming down. Some days it's just light rain. Some days it might be sunny. You feel me? But so I want to challenge us right now, and I'm gonna give you just a little 3-step process to kind of use when you leave outside of here. But I'm gonna kind of show it right here, a little example. But this concept is gonna be able to change negative thoughts and help you change negative thoughts. Let me say that, in the positive or neutral ones, right? And so we call this, or I call this, the 3 C's, right? The first one I have is identifying. Yeah, y'all can go ahead and write this down too. The first one I have is catch. And so catch is identifying the negative thought before your emotion. That's the one too. All right. So I got catch. The second one I have check. So check is gonna be reflect on how accurate and real the thought is and how it makes you feel. So check is where you diagnose basically how it makes you feel, because we all got feelings and emotions, but I want you to like really pay attention how the words really pierce your heart, if you will. So we got catch, check. You're gonna be able to identify your thought. You're gonna be able to check yourself basically, and see how it makes you feel, and then see if it's even true, right? It might be true in the moment, but is that something that you're gonna let define you, right? And then the third one, we have change. And so you're gonna change your thought to a positive one and a more useful one, okay? So we're gonna catch our thoughts, we're gonna identify it, we're gonna check it, we're gonna see how it makes us feel, see if it's even true, and see if we're gonna let it define us, and then we're gonna change it. So we're gonna change our thought from a positive to a negative one, okay? Right here. So I'm about to kind of tell you guys more of my testimony, and as I'm doing my testimony, I want you guys to write down, I want you guys to catch every time I had a negative thought about myself, okay? And then from there, we're gonna check these, and then we're gonna check my negative thoughts too, and we're gonna change them, and then that's gonna get us into actually creating affirmations, okay? So again, just bear with me. So I played football and sports all my life. I'm the youngest of 3. I got 2 older brothers, right? All I cared about was sports, I promise you. Like school, I passed because I had friends and I got answers. I got the work done, you feel me? I wasn't the smartest kid in the bunch and things like that. I just got by, if you will, and everything else in life. Boom, 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 fast forward, I get a scholarship, I get to go play ball out in Illinois as soon as I graduate, right? I go there for about a year. And I only wanted my scholarship because I thought sports was the only thing to this life for some reason. I was just ignorant, I guess, to the world. But go out there and not really understanding what I'm getting myself into and wasn't taking high school serious. I always had good grades because, again, I can get it done. And so it got me by. But when you get to college and you become a student athlete, you're a student first and then you're an athlete, right? And so I get up there, I'm away from Clarksville, and so I'm out there doing my thing. I'm having fun, you know what I'm saying? Going to the parties and things like that, showing up for football and things of that nature. But fast forward to COVID, when COVID happened, because I graduated high school in 2019. I'm only 22, about to be 23. But graduated 2019, and fast forward to when COVID happened, I already did a year up there in Illinois. And so they had sent us back because of COVID and stuff like that was happening right before the summer hit. And during that period, I kind of hurt my ankle, like when I was back home playing basketball, doing something like he always told me, if you're in season, you shouldn't be playing pickup basketball and things like that. You need to get a chance of getting hurt, right? Well, I ended up getting hurt and had to sit down, you know, just doing a lot of thinking and being at the house, because I was living on my own at the time. So when I came back, I was living in that household, and I was just having a bunch of people come through. We was doing a bunch of things we had no business doing and stuff like that. But I finally got my ankle healed, and so I went to the field. I was excited. I was gonna go run on it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Just fill it out. And it felt good. Like, I felt good getting back on the field. That's what I love to do. That's all I knew, is get on the field, you know what I'm saying, and do my thing, like put some work in. And so, soon as I get back to the house, I kid you not, my coach called me. Ring, 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 whoopie, whoop, whoop. He's like, yeah, your grades are pretty much terrible, you feel me? They suck. You can't come back and play with us unless you go through this whole, you gotta pay more money, do some more summer school. It was stuff I probably could have done if I had the right mindset back then, but because I didn't have a positive mindset then, I had a negative mindset, and I was beating myself up. I was like, for one, I'm gonna let my family down. I'm not worthy anymore, you know what I'm saying? For my friends, it's more so like, okay, now they gonna judge me because I'm worried about what they thinking and things like that. I'm just thinking, okay, I'm living on my own, school and football, really all I know. Like, what's next? Like, my purpose is taken from me. So I feel like I don't have a purpose anymore. Again, I feel not good enough, if you will. Then I started letting the environment that I had around me, which was I'm visiting home, so all the kids who didn't go to school, they stayed in Clarksville, not doing really much of anything, at least the ones I was hanging out with and stuff like that. So I started letting those actions define me, right? And that same day, or within, it was actually like within 3 days, I had an ex-teammate call me, and his name was Jalen Ferguson. I don't know if any of y'all knew him, but he was an upperclassman when I was in high school. And he called me, he was like, hey, this network marketing thing I'm doing, I'm not sure if y'all work with Forex and stuff like that, but it was online, get money and stuff like that. It was like a network marketing, that's what it was. But he was like, if you wanna sign up, it's like $350, whoopie whoop whoop. At the time, definitely that's all I had left, and I was like, well, I ain't got nothing else going, so I just paid the fee, right? At the same time, I found my mentor, or ran into my mentor, Maurice Howard, if you will, and I told him kind of the scenario and things going on, and I was like, I'm just trying to do something, maybe a clothing brand, right? And so he told me, before you can have a brand, and before you can brand anything, you gotta brand yourself. And that will always stick with me, and it stuck with me hard, because I was just trying to find a way to make some money, right? Other than what I'm already doing and things like that. A more stable way of making money, if you will. And so that's how this P.H.M. came along, Praise, Hustle, Motivate. And that was the start of something that's gonna help and impact a lot of lives, because it definitely helped, impacted, and changed mine, if you will, okay? And I really feel like it was a gift of God, from God, if you will, if I just nurture it right. But that was the beginning of something great, but at the same time, y'all know, like anything else, before you can have something great, you might go through some things. And so that moment, I figured out what I wanted. I had the concept in my head, right? Fast forward, about a few months go by, I'm still around the same people, still in Clarksville, not really doing anything, not figuring things out, but I started doing those things more heavy, right? I was just involved in more things than I should be doing, and I ended up getting in trouble myself. The first time I got caught with a just misdemeanor and had a firearm with me. So nothing too major, but again, something I'm not used to, I wasn't used to. And so, boom, I had to go handle that. They end up letting me off for that, and then I didn't change my ways. I started labeling myself again, like, okay, now this is who I am, if you will. Like, I just gotta make it work. I feel like I gotta be out here to survive, if you will. So getting deeper and around other people, still just kind of nurturing the wrong seed, if you will. I get in trouble again, and this time it was for auto theft, misdemeanor with the gas again, with the firearm. And so this time I had to go to jail. I only sat in there for 3 days, thankfully. When I got out, of course, they put me on probation. And so when that phase happened, the day that I got locked up, they ended up making my parents move. They said, look, this booking law picture came through. We don't want him in y'all environment. He's not allowed over here. My parents be my parents. They're not gonna let anybody tell them they can't see their son. You feel me? And I didn't know that at the time. At my time, I'm starting to do the personalizing. I'm blaming myself. I'm like, I done let my parents down. I done let my brothers down. I'm a criminal now. I'm a thief now. I'm a user, if you will. And so all these thoughts are spiraling down, right? And now I transition into something else. I started trying to make some money with the fentanyl pills, the little perk 30s, all of them are fake, if you will, right? And not only started selling them, I started using them, type shit. And I got addicted to them and started using them more and more and more because I allowed myself to believe them negative thoughts, and I was just trying to find a way to like cope with myself and get away from everybody and everything, right? It got to the point to about, and I'm on probation when I'm doing this, when I'm on this. Like my probation was a year. Thankfully, it went over. But in this year, I'm spiraling down. I'm going through it. One night I was working at Southern Service over at exit 11, and I was just done. I was fed up. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was ready to tap out. Like that's it. Let's go. I was really about ready to quit. You feel me? And I went through my contacts list, and I was calling a lot of people. And mind you, I was working a graveyard shift, so it was probably like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Nobody was answering the phone, and I called people once, and in my head, the people that I loved, like I truly loved, I'll let it ring like once or twice, and I'll hang up, and I'll move on to the next one. But in that time, I'm telling myself, nobody's answering, this, that, and the third. Go in the bathroom, I was sitting there contemplating on certain things or a few things, and then I get a phone call back from a good friend, I believe to be an angel. I met him through the Forex that I joined when I first dropped out of college. And he ended up going to that college year before me. We didn't figure that out until down the road. But he ended up calling me because he works a graveyard shift, but he lives in Alabama. He was a forklift operator at the time named Cameron Forston. And he called me back. He was like, yo, dude, what's kind of going on? I can hear the little things beeping still to this day, like in the background. And I'm over here going through it. He can tell I'm messed up. And I told him, I was just ranting about a bunch of things. Like, bro, I'm tired of doing this. I've been on this. I've tried to change this, that, and third. He ain't said what he didn't say nothing until I finally shut up. And he was like, what's your relationship with God? And I was like, I've been praying this, that, and the third, you know what I'm saying? Trying to ball my eyes out shit and stuff like that. Excuse my language, sorry.
No,
but,
real.
yeah, and so he ended up like, I don't know, he was like, we can make this happen. I can come get you tomorrow. He literally came, got me the next day, live in Alabama. He was staying with his parents at the time, came pick me up, me and my dog, just saying, because I had a dog at the time. Took me to Alabama, and then by the time we got to Alabama, he was like, I haven't even got to talk to my parents, nothing like that. They don't even know what's going on. They don't even know you going down here. And he's like, I gotta go into work though. So by the time we got back, we went to his work, Carter Express down there, and he had to go back in by the time he came back and got me. He's like, now by the time I get off, you need to have a plan, and you need to have something that we're gonna explain to my parents, and the reason why we need to let you stay and stuff like that. So thankful to him, I got a second opportunity, if you will. And I had to come up with a plan, like, I'll be able to pay rent on this day, this much, this blase, only gonna stay there 6 months. I don't think he was kind of expecting me to tell them what I was really going through. I didn't tell them what I was really going through, not yet. One day they will know. There was a great impact on me. But that small amount of time, I got to be back, I got to get off of what I was on type shit. And so I got to just be in a good environment, and I got to be away from everything that I thought I knew at the moment, and away from my own thoughts, And I began to do more of my personal development because it was a long period of time. Like, I've been out of school probably about 6 years, but in that time, I was living a double life, business, and then running around in the streets and stuff, just doing stuff I didn't have no business doing. When I was doing the business stuff, I went really heavy in my personal development life, and I was doing, just setting goals for myself. I was doing a lot of reading. I watched a lot of podcasts and stuff like that. But when I got back to Alabama, I finally was like, okay, this is my second chance, if you will. And I was still on probation, and even in probation, I failed the drug test, so they made me go through this class and stuff like that. But I started just really working on myself, right? And the biggest thing, I wish I would have brought it with me, but I have at least like 100 affirmations, like 50 to 100 affirmations just written out of who I am, you feel me? And that's huge, who I am. I am a king, you know? I am smart, I am intelligent, I am beautiful, I am trustworthy, I am truthful, I am faithful, I'm kind, I'm generous, right? I am. And I'll tell you, when I was doing these affirmations and more personal development, but because we're doing affirmation and mindset, I want to kind of keep it focused right there. I was doing these affirmations every day. Like, before I get in the shower, I'm doing push-ups to them. I am, right? And I don't do them as much as I used to, which I probably should start doing them more now. But I end up getting a chance. Like, I'm still supposed to be in the lease right now in Alabama, right? And I was supposed to have finished my probation and stuff like that. When my court date had came up on August 1st, my lawyer didn't show up, so I had to get I think the DA was, I forgot his name, but he came in there, and I didn't have my classes finished, my drug class finished assembly, but I came back for that, and by the grace of God, I kid you not, like, some reason, they just threw it all away. They just let it go out the door, right? It's still my record, but I should have had a lot more probation to do because I wasn't following the rules. I wasn't being disciplined. I wasn't showing up to my classes. I didn't pass my last drug test. I know my PO was probably upset because they let me go, you feel me? Because me and her had some words and stuff like that. But the point is, after I got through that, doing these affirmations really been reshaping my mind into now, right? And I supposed to, like, we still got 4 months left in the Alabama lease, but I felt called back here. And when I felt like I was called back here, I'm like, there's no way I'm going back to the place I almost was ready to tap out. Like, that don't even make sense, God. Like, why would I do that? Why would I want to be around them same people? Why would I want to be where I can get whatever I want? You feel me? Like, why? Like, still to this day, if I want to go get high on something, you know what I'm saying? I can go get whatever I want, and I'm gonna do that, but I'm not gonna do that, you feel me? And ever since I've been back for about, 5 months, I've been back about 5 months, back and forth.
5 months.
Yeah, I'm finally here. And now I get to do this, right? And it's only been a year, you feel me? It's only been a year, bro. Like, I was really check out last year. And if y'all could see, like, the opportunities and doors and things God putting in my face right now, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys really, like, there's more to life out there than what we see. I got to leave little old Clarksville, not really little, people really, unless you live here, y'all, they don't know what goes on in Clarksville. Like, they don't understand us at all, you know, for the most part. Pull us from Clarksville, go to Alabama, complete different lifestyle. Like, they was living better out there. Granted, his dad was from Clarksville too, so he kind of knew what was up. And that's a whole nother story, but I just got to be around a different environment. I got to see different. I got to experience different. I got to experience a lifestyle that a lot of us here don't get, right? But I'm here to say, like, it's out there for us to go get, and it really don't take that long. It might feel like it take long. It might feel like you're going through hell and back, literally, but it's only been a year. You know what I'm saying? And so, we're gonna just stop right there. And again, if y'all want to reach out after, y'all definitely can. But what were some of the negative thoughts that I used in that testimony? And I know I probably was talking in parables, if you will, but
Not worthy and no purpose.
I don't know how many more I said. I won't do it.
Labels yourself.
You said what?
I said, he was labeling himself. I mean, I just put stuff like that down, though. I was like, he was letting people down.
Yeah.
He was not feeling good enough. He felt like he was a user.
But, so we just caught some negative thoughts. We caught some of ones that people used against y'all. What are some of the names that y'all call yourself before?
An addict, honestly.
An addict,
Like a lifelong addict is what I've always thought.
lifelong addict, and that's powerful. Like once you really realize how powerful our words are, like, and I don't know if y'all religious or if y'all believe or anything like that. I have a relationship with God. I'm a son of God, so like the religion is deeper than that for me. But when you say lifelong addict, that's powerful. You know what I'm saying? It's really powerful, and you will eventually, or could have eventually started believing that. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you didn't have other people like speaking more life into you. You didn't speak life into yourself.
Joshua, I have just a comment. I also find, even with someone like myself, I sometimes will tell myself, if someone said to me the things I say to myself inwardly, they would not be my friend. So we really have to check what we're saying, because it's the enemy in me. God is in me now, but there are things that self-talk. If somebody were to say what you're thinking in you, which is not true, the negative, they would not be your friend. We would cut them off immediately.
Right.
So that has helped me, like, why are you saying that this is not true? And even myself, I have to use the word of God, and I love the scriptures and to help me. And there's one where he talks about, I know the thoughts I think towards you, thoughts of peace and not evil, to give you a hope and a future. I have to say that every morning, because people say negative things to all of us. And then when I'm, say, processing you guys' assessments and people come in, that's why I will not read the file first when you come in initially, because people will tell me, I think you're going to judge me. I don't want to know anything about you. I want you to tell me about yourself. And when I finish, and at some point I have to read the file.
Right.
But people really do feel judged when they're sitting in front of you. You may not be thinking, I'm not thinking anything, because if not for the grace of God, there too, I would have gone, my daughter, who did for a little bit. So, yeah, so I think we have to really watch that self-talk.
100%.
Yeah, so.
And I appreciate it.
They go back to, like I said, judging somebody before you meet them. I've been working going on 6 years. I don't know anybody charges why you here unless that person told me themselves. I don't check your file. I don't care what I'm looking at Benjamin, Mitch Jackson, and Miss Dixon. Unless you tell me your charge, I don't go look and see what you charged with, because that's not you. That's not you.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, we all are definitely and I appreciate y'all for that. We definitely a reflection of each other. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to know you
Right.
past, but I can be here 5 minutes and get a reflection of myself in you. I can know a piece of you because it's in me too. You know what I'm saying? I probably can relate to every single one of y'all in here, including y'all back there. We all relate and we're a reflection of each other. And so, again, when we doing them negative thoughts to ourselves and talking down to ourselves, it takes one person to say something we already said to ourselves, and now we believe it because somebody else said it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was going to touch on talking about speaking things. Whenever you read the Bible in the very beginning, God spoke everything into existence. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So He's letting us know right then how powerful our mouth is. He's God. He could have just made it. You know what I mean? He just made everything, but He spoke it. So,
Spoke it.
That's
He's
good.
just letting you know right there in the beginning how powerful our words can be. To one another. So.
That's good.
Because he also said that he made us in his image. He made mankind in his image. And so that's definitely important and don't need to be missed. And that Bible is definitely the living word, and it can relate to any of y'all, even if you're an atheist. It will relate to you in it will speak to you. It's literally the living word. Just try it for yourself. If you don't believe it, test it for me. But yeah, so, and not only that, it's the word, it's important, it's powerful. So we caught, back to 3 C's, we was able to catch it, Now we're gonna check it. So, method. So how did it make you feel?
I mean, it was basically, you know, my daughter had come up to me and said, you know, I had gotten arrested again, and of course that was back when the stuff was on the computer and everybody looked at it and see my charges, and, you know, they said something to her about, you know, your dad, you know, so I was a meth head or something like that. She come back and said to me, you know, and it you kind of, you know, rubbed me the wrong way in essence, but, you know, I just stopped and tell her, I said, look, honey, I said, you know, you're not gonna make everybody happy out there, you know, I said, there are people out there who talk about Jesus Christ, and he's the greatest thing ever, you know.
What she said?
You know, so, it's just one of the things, you know, where, you know, that's what happened to me, and that's what it is, and, you know, I said, deal with it, and, you know, pick up my pieces and move on, you know.
Right.
And,
So how did it make you feel in the moment when she said that?
I mean, I felt bad, you know what I mean, I felt bad for, you know, terrible for my husband. We didn't get to that position in life, you know.
Right. Make you feel bad? Is your daughter saying it?
Yeah, and that's what her friends are, you know, labeling me as, and you know, she don't wanna hear that about her dad, you know.
Right.
And so, yeah, so I just had to, I told her, I said, well, you know, dad's working on himself, and trying to get better.
Doing what you can do.
You know.
Drunk. How did it make you feel?
Belittled, I guess.
A little. You gotta have to help me spell this.
I can't spell.
Make that be a little. For the criminal, how did it make you feel?
At one point I was just accepting it.
Mm.
I just accepted it. Like, now, I mean, it's hard. Worthless.
Mm.
Inferior.
You would pick a word. INFERIOR.
What did you say? I didn't hear.
Inferior.
Oh, inferior, okay.
This word. Who's able to catch them? Who's able to check them? Now, I want us to change them, even though you might already did that. But we're gonna change it right now and just let that go. You know what I'm saying? So, again, back to you. Yeah, you felt bad, and you told her that you can get better, or you're trying to do better, and things like that. So, I want you to tell me something to reinvert this. Like, how? Give me a different label for yourself.
Well, I basically, now am, you know, 17 months clean on the fentanyl, you know, like that, and, you know.
Proud of you, bro.
And I've passed, since I've been in this class, I've passed, you know, I started off with some drugs for things, and now I'm passing them.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm pretty much changed the whole outcome of the way I do things, and, you know, I don't know what kind of label I can label myself as now, but.
Sound like you healed. That sound like a good one. You wanna use that one?
We use it, yeah.
So, you felt belittled, drunken. What's a label that we're gonna use to overcome being belittled and drunken? Because this is not you. How do you identify yourself?
Sober.
Sober. You got kids?
Well, I got stuff kids, they're my kids, so.
Yeah, facts.
I'm just saying, yeah, rehabilitated.
Reborn. I'm gonna do reborn. Seems respectful.
Say worthy or child of God.
Yes, sir. Worthy child of God. Big G. Let me just see. Okay. And for you?
I don't know, because my mental is like a huge part of my recovery process.
Oh, 100%.
I honestly don't know how to turn that negative into positive.
So, well, for one, these words don't explain you at all. You know what I'm saying? And again, I don't know you, and I don't know your past, and I don't know what you're doing. But right now in this moment, like you're in this room, I see a person trying to get better. I see a person that is looking to recover. I see a person that's striving for greatness.
She's an awesome mom.
You're a mother.
Yeah.
That alone is powerful. You
It
give
is,
life.
Yeah.
You're a life giver. You know what I'm saying? So can I put that one up here for you?
Yeah, I don't know.
So we was able to catch it, check it, and change it. And this is just, I just wanted to do this part to revert what somebody had told y'all, what y'all believed at one point. Because again, it's up to you to let it define you, right? And that's anything we're dealing with, because y'all can sit here and call me anything y'all want. I know who I am, I know whose I am, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it took a long time to get here. It did, for me personally. But this, what y'all just did right here, even like God, when you ask for repentance and salvation, like, it's immediate. Like, immediate is now. You know what I'm saying? So like, when he said he died for our sins and that we can be restored, he didn't put a time on it. He said you are restored. You know, you are forgiven. Like, that's now. You feel me? And so these labels that we now put on ourselves, like, that's now. All that other stuff is behind you. Like, wake up, clean slate. You feel me? All right. So just gonna get into the power affirmations. Okay. So affirmation is a tool. It is positive statements that can help reshape your mindset, overcome your negative thoughts through the consistent practice of affirmations. Like I was doing it every day. Y'all don't have to do it every day, but I definitely encourage you to do it every day. Especially until you get to where you want to be and who you want to be, and then you can recreate some more. Okay, you can start setting some different goals and stuff like that. But make it like, you gotta be vigilant with it. You gotta see it. You gotta believe it. You know what I'm saying? Just like when we hear it, you can. That's why we're doing this today, because I'm gonna ask y'all to send me y'all emails. I want y'all to be able to hear your own affirmations and things like that. But through the consistent practice of affirmation, individuals can improve their self-esteem, confidence, and overall quality of life. So, real briefly, hold up. Boom, boom, boom. So, y'all can come stand up here real quick. Again, it's positive statements, it's positive inputs, right? So we're using this vase of water, and again, watch the water where it's at, and then when we put things into it, just watch the water level go up. But we're using this vase as our mindset. The coins is gonna be the affirmations we use, okay? And so when a basic affirmation, and like you were saying in scripture, like it's word, God used, he created us with word, it's right. But God is also I am. I am blank. I am, okay? And so I just want each of us to say I am and something positive about yourself, all right? So I'll go first. I am beautiful, okay? And you can go ahead and you keep it simple.
I am a hard worker.
I like that one.
I am confident.
I am worthy.
Yes, sir.
I am good.
Yes, sir.
I am strong.
Yes, ma'am. So boom, y'all can sit back down. So affirmation, y'all just put an affirmation into our mindset, right? And the reason I told y'all I was doing this every day is because you put them in here, making deposits, they add up. It's like a savings account, if you will. I'm amazing. I'm a hard worker. I'm talented. I'm smart. I'm intelligent. I'm trustworthy. I'm faithful, right? And then, you know, you again start doing them consistently. The water's going up, right? So as you're doing them, you're getting more fulfilled, right? You're getting more fulfilled. More fulfilled. But again, we said you're not just gonna be able to have a positive mindset. It's a lifelong journey. You're still doing affirmation doesn't mean you're gonna come up with some more challenges and stuff like that. So when the enemy, or when yourself, your biggest enemy is yourself, when you deceive yourself, right? When the enemy comes along and they try to take and call you names, and or you start calling yourself names and you beat yourself up, you feel me, start taking away from you. But because we put so many affirmations and we built our mind up so many times, and we're still doing affirmations, if we're consistent with it, what am I really losing right now? Nothing. Because the enemy just want to come and kill, steal, and destroy. Yes, ma'am. And so, I just wanted to kind of give you guys that visual, because that's what affirmations is, right? We're just making them deposits into our head. Now I want to teach y'all how to create affirmations real briefly, and I'm going to give you guys these two so y'all can write on them. But these are journals I worked on recently, and you can flip through them. I'll kind of explain the whole journal at the end. But right now, just go to the affirmation page. So on these affirmations, I say, I am courageous, I am disciplined, I am faithful, I am focused, I am loved, I am healed, I am confident, I am a blessing. And these are just a few from how many I actually had that I was doing, and I try to put some energy into it. That's why I like to do push-ups with it, to make it more of a focus thing, because again, this is where you're focused. If you want to better yourself and heal yourself and create a new life for yourself, if you will, you focus on it. You go to the gym, you can work out and say them. You know what I'm saying? You at home or you mad or frustrated, take that energy that you're mad and start like, I am faithful, I am cute. You know what I'm saying? Like, get mad at yourself if you have to. But whatever it is, speak life into yourself. You feel me? And the verse that I had at the bottom of this, it says, I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made, marvelous in thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. Psalms 139:14. So the biggest takeaway I have from this verse is, I am fearfully made and wonderfully made. Right here in scripture, he's using affirmations. I am, right? Again, God is I am fearfully and wonderfully made. So, let me get rid of this. If you guys turn on the back side of that, there's a place where you can write them at. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would just like for y'all to at least write I am 5 times, just to get y'all started and for the purpose of the day. And so y'all probably know what we're about to do. And now I want y'all to fill this in, and y'all keep it short, like I am courageous, or you can kind of put a little bit more twist to I am really courageous, or however you want to do. I am wonderfully made, or I am wonderfully or fearfully made. So I just want y'all to make 5 affirmations, but really try to like think what you want to tell yourself who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like really try to think about these words, because these words again are powerful. So when you're making these affirmations, I'm gonna give y'all just 7 quick steps of how to make these more like effective, because y'all know what affirmations are now. So a personal affirmation, you want to make them personal. Make affirmations by saying I will, I am, me. You know what I'm saying? Make it personal. It's about you, okay? And again, like take credit for what, like how you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Like this is you taking credit. This is you taking back what you always took from yourself, if you will. Because again, you are the one that was stealing from your own self and your own work, right? Secondly, use positive language. So it's always going to be positive. Use positive language and affirmations instead of focus on what you don't want. Express what you do want, okay? So an example, I am capable of handling my challenges, rather than I won't be overwhelmed by my challenges. You see how it says I won't be overwhelmed? That won't is still a negative. Don't get deceived. You feel me? Keep it positive. Keep everything like uplifting, if you will. Number 3, in the present tense. So this is not I will, or it's not going to be I'm about to, or I can't. Like it's going to be now. So it should be written as it already happening now, because it is happening now. You're claiming it. Again, you're claiming what's yours, okay? Encourage the mind to believe in the present reality, okay? I am achieving my goals rather than I will achieve my goals, okay? Number 4, be specific and clear. So, an example, I am becoming a better listener in my relationships rather than I'm just improving, right? Like, be specific on what you're really trying to heal from. And each of us got kind of a different walk right now. Like, one's a mother, one may be a father, or, got step kids, one might be single, one got a daughter. Like, it's all different. So make it more specific on you. Like, I am a good father. I am a worthy father. You can do things like that. I am worthy, okay? Another example, I am making steady progress in my career rather than I am the most successful person in the world. Like, okay, that's cool, you successful person in the world, but what are you successful at? So it's like, I'm making steady progress in my career, or I did get that job, I did get hired, right? And then number 5, this is the most important part to me, is repeat and visualize it, see it, hear it. Identify it multiple times a day, you know what I'm saying? Find creative ways to use it. I'm gonna encourage them to allow you guys to say them to yourself or say them to each other when y'all come in. And y'all definitely can go through these journals too. There's just different stuff in there. Again, we'll go through it in a little bit. Number 6, keep it short and memorable. I say keep it short. Of course, you can do it longer if you just feel like writing out, kind of like journaling. But me personally, I'll say keep it short and memorable. So like, it's a tool that you can use. You're going through something and somebody piss you off on the road, if you will, right? They make you mad on the road and you instantly want to get the hooping and hollering at them, but we're going to be able to catch it, check it, and then change it with these tools, okay? So if they're short, you can start saying, I am a good person, I am healthy, I am healed, I am graceful, I am grateful, and stuff like that. And number 7, tailor it to personal goals. So I don't know if you guys have goals for yourself ever written out somewhere, but if you don't, I encourage y'all to have goals, because you can make these affirmations help you reach your goals faster, stronger, and a little bit quicker. Okay, so I'm gonna ask each of y'all just one in particular affirmation that y'all wrote, and then you just kind of let me know one of the ones you wrote. You don't have to.
But I am a believer.
I am a believer. I like that one.
I am blessed.
I am blessed. Yes, sir.
I am proud.
Yes, sir.
I am a child of God.
Yes, sir.
I put I'm breaking the cycle.
Yes, ma'am. Breaking Free. That's a song we was working on like 2 days ago. It's a powerful song. That's a whole other story too. Powerful song. It's not done yet, but it was a testimony within the song. I want to stress it one more time. It is important. Like, if y'all really want to see results, like, and actually see it, use it daily. Like, use it daily. Before you get in the shower, say it. Something else I did was tell myself things in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? I'll talk to myself in the mirror so I see who's saying it. You know what I'm saying? I can see myself saying it. Just find different creative ways to use it daily. It don't have to be repeated so many times, but at least try to focus on it. Focus on just doing it daily. And so you can start feeling and seeing the changes. You will start noticing it. I promise you if you just focus on it. And then, so that brings me kind of to conclusion. And so we covered a positive mindset. We was able to identify negative thought patterns and techniques for challenging negative thoughts, the concept of affirmations and ways of creating affirmations and utilizing them. Okay. Do any of y'all have questions for me right now? No questions? How many of y'all actually gonna consider doing this? Making affirmations? Because I know we've seen it probably like on Instagram sometimes too, but like, it works, I promise you. But like, for me, it really works because I put God first in it, you know? And I wasn't trying to like manifest and do all weird stuff with it. I was really just understanding who I am and letting God label me. And that's something else you guys could look up if you're trying to make some more that hit home, is look up affirmations used in the Bible, okay? You know what I'm saying? And that's something that really helped me and healed me. It's seeking for them fruits, you know? There was 2 trees that they could have ate from in that garden. One was the tree of life, and the other one was the tree of knowledge, good and evil, right? And obviously we know what happened. They ate from the tree of knowledge. But something that was on my mind and heart lately is this world, like we all need healing, man. Like we all be going through the same thing, but so differently. You know what I'm saying? But internally, we be going through the same thing. It just look different out here. We're distracted. We try to go by what we see. And the tree of life, when I realized it, I always thought it was one tree in the garden. Don't eat from the tree of knowledge. But it was two. Tree of life and then the tree of knowledge, good and evil. That tree of life, I've been reading out of Proverbs a lot, which is the book of wisdom, if you will. It's a good place to start. There's 30 chapters, so you can read one chapter a day if you want to get some more insight and just wisdom for yourself. That's something I at least try to do, because obviously I need to work on my reading and writing skills. But I keep saying your fruits or the fruits of a righteous man is like a tree of life. Not the tree of life, but it's like a tree of life. And I was trying to seek for the tree of life. That's what we need. But it's the way we carry ourselves. It's the love. It's the being generous. It's the labels that God really had for us, if you will. Not everything else that we get exposed to. And that wasn't a part of this. I just felt like that was in my heart. But so these journals, again, I made them not too long ago. This is the first product, if you will, that I made with P.H.M. But on the first page, you can kind of put your name on here, tell you who this journal belongs to. And then for this one, I just use, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord would not hold him guilty that taketh his name in vain. So again, we are made in God's image, so don't let people take your name for vain. Don't let them put labels on you, right? Like she said, each of our names got meanings to them, right? And that's something I would like to incorporate when we're doing these affirmations. But the second page is just, I'm not gonna read all of them to you, just the missions and values. The second page is the mission and value of P.H.M. Okay, praise us and motivate. And again, it's a community effort thing because I believe we all need each other to do this. P.H.M. mission is to crown all kings and queens by working on the mindset, soul, and body of each individual, leading and servicing them to the kingdom. This self-help journal and calendar will guide you to reaching your full potential from within and help you stay the course on your journey. Matthew 7:24, therefore everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock, Peter, right? Which is interesting. I forgot that was in there and you were just talking about Peter. So this first page is just a kind of introduction to yourself, and you tell yourself who you are. Just kind of, again, it give you area to set your goals, you know, why you set your goals. And this last question is very interesting. It's a childhood experience that describes who you are, right? So give one childhood experience that describes who you are. On this next page, give you kind of room to write on them. And obviously we just did the affirmations. You got a little calendar in here, if you guys will. For me, I just used it because at the end of the package, there's 30 writing prompts, and I just put a number in each of the days, if you will, because this is a 30-day challenge. I just put a number in each one, so every day on that day, I go look at my writing prompts on the creative writing at the back, read the question, and then I just journal it and read it. And then if you need to set a daily schedule, there's a schedule in here for you. And then also in the 30-day habits, and it's the daily schedule, because this is a 30-day challenge. That's the whole concept of this. So the schedule is for you to put, okay, at 5 o'clock, I'm gonna do my affirmations. At 2 o'clock, I'm gonna actually do one of the writing prompts. And then the 30-day habit tracker is just something to challenge yourself. Whatever you're just trying to give up or do. So like me, I need to get back to the gym. It's been way too long. You know what I'm saying? I can't even walk down the street without breathing hard. The vapes kill me. You know what I'm saying? But go to the gym. I do it every day. Just mark a day off. The vapes, blacks, stuff like that. I'm trying to leave them alone. You feel me? Which I'm like 2 weeks strong at the moment because I did it again. But that's just kind of for you. And the creative writing prompts. Definitely take the time to go through these. There's some interesting questions in here. I'm not gonna lie. Pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. Which one? Number 16, you guys already did today, so y'all can go ahead and mark that one off. This is create your own affirmation list. And then on the bonus section, again, This is just different ways to kind of help y'all. Because I do challenge y'all, like, the reason I'm doing this, yes, I wanna give value, but also giving value helps me too. Like, I learned a lot from every time y'all open up, I learned that it helps me grow, right? And so I wanna challenge y'all to go serve somebody else. It's awesome to go serve. It is, we know that it's the concept of putting others before yourself, even in the midst of you going through your own storm, right? And it's not allowing you to make everything about you. Like, that's the best way I was able to overcome a lot of things, is being able to do this. Like, I'm still trying to figure some things out right now myself, but every time I come and serve, it's just a different type of fulfillment, okay? But I have ways to pray on here, 5-step ways to pray. I'll let you guys look at that, and then community outreach, you guys can go to like food banks, youth fundraisers, and church events and stuff like that. They'll always let y'all serve. And then, yeah, that's all I got for right now. Again, y'all got any more questions? Sweet. So do I have time to do this real quick?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, bet. So what we're gonna do right here, and I might need your help for this one,
Okay.
because the names, I want you guys to introduce your name. You can do first, last name. So my name is Joshua Emmons. Joshua means
Righteous. That's righteous.
righteousness.
Righteousness.
My name is Josh. I am righteousness. And then say your 5 affirmations that you wrote, okay? And what I'm gonna be doing with this, I'm gonna then take it home, and I'm gonna get y'all emails from y'all, or I can get their emails, and I'm gonna send it to y'all. We're making an affirmations track. And it's so powerful, guys. It's only been a year. I just got my dad on here to do the affirmations, and then the first class I did was my mom. You know what I'm saying? That means a lot. It really do. So I appreciate y'all, for real, for real. For real.
So you're on the right track, man.
We all are, man.
Yeah.
We all are.
You gotta do.
Most definitely. Most definitely.